Pink Ladies, T-Birds, just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is JImmiPynk. I don't even got nothing to cover to say, y'all. Black Panther was just the shit, okay? So, I'm a little bit late because I actually went to go see the movie at noon. But for those of y'all that was in my live last night, y'all know I was a little bit tipsy. So when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But I got myself in the shower, I put on my African garb, and I headed to the movie theater, and I watched the movie. But when I tell y'all, when I left the movie, like, I was so damn tired, I felt like I was high. I was like, oh my God, please just let me get home. And I, like, just literally came home and crashed. So, let's get into this movie. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Even with seeing some of the reviews, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all. I didn't want to hear anything that had to do with spoilers, and I didn't watch a whole lot of reviews because sometimes what other people say, well, that's not a spoiler because that was in the trailer, or maybe I don't remember that from the trailer, so don't tell me. We start off right after Civil War, where he's obviously, T'Challa is actually obviously going to be crowned king because his father passed. Well, first of all, no. It started off, and I might be getting this out of order because I didn't do the review right after, but all of a sudden, we see 1992, Oakland, California. What? So right then, I'm like, right then, I'm confused on what the hell is going on. I am confused on what's going on because I'm like, why are we in Oakland? So we see Sterling K. Brown. I'm going to have to start watching This Is Us because Sterling K. Brown is my dude. Okay, so we see Sterling K. Brown and this little light-skinned guy. And they out there with guns and stuff. You know, it was looking a little Boys in the Hood-ish. And I was pissed off about that at first. I was like, really, Marvel? We can't just add a black African movie. You got to take us to the hood. We got to do a hood movie in the middle of it. But when it come back around, baby, let me tell you. So they come. The dudes is in there. Put the guns up. He hear it. Put the guns up. It's these two Grace Jones looking bitches out here. That laid me out. Let them in. They're not going to knock again. So then we come to find out that this man is actually somebody that is a spy. And he is King T'Chaka's brother. And he goes and he's explaining to them, listen, the people that look like us, this is what took me in the movie. Because I wasn't expecting a social commentary out of Black Panther. And we got a social commentary out of Black Panther. That shit was so sickening how they did that. Ryan Coogler, you that dude, man. You that dude. You that dude. It's people that look like us all over the world. Look how they live and look how we live, and we got the resources to help these people. But as usual, people tend to be greedy, and instead of him saying, like, we can help these people, he like, Wakanda can just take over the world. And we can be on top. The father is not here for it. No, we're not doing that. We find out, this is what they got. They got these adamantium. I forget what the metal is right now, I'm sorry. But all their stuff is around by that, so it's in their mouth, and that's how they can tell somebody is Wakandan. So, they find out the dude, he can stay because I trust him with my life, and that was like, you know, his capo. But the capo was a Wakandan too, and was spying. And we find out that white dude, Dr. Claw, Andy Serkis, I know you the king of motion capture, but I need to see you act some more because you were everything to me in this. Andy Serkis was so creepy, but also like a good comic relief, but also like just a really good villain. Like, it was just amazing. Andy Serkis was really good, but he had stole, you know, some of the resources, and they had lied and said he stole all of it. He like, they live on a mountain of that shit. They could run everything if they want to, but they stay to themselves. And we find out this dude was also Wakandan, and he tries to kill the other dude, and his Sergeant K. Brown get killed. But they showed this shot of this little kid looking up. I'm sorry, this is spoilers. They showed that kid looking up. But when it come back around and we find out that that is Killmonger, and that was Killmonger's dad, like, I'm like, wait, he does this, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker is Wakandan too. I don't want to get too heavy in the spoilers and like going right back over the plot, because some of y'all might just watch this just because y'all watch my channel, so I don't want to tell too much of what's going on, even though that was probably the biggest twist. But just the scenes. Our boy from Get Out is in here. I would say Angela Winbush. Lord. See, because the black is just seeping out after you watch this. I'm just going to start naming all the black people we forgot about. Angela Bassett is in this. Forrest Whitaker is in this. I do got to say this, because that one storyline, since I spoiled it, I got to finish telling y'all that. Come to find out, like Forrest Whitaker, they grow this plant. And that plant is how you get the power of the Black Panther. And he, like, tends to the garden. He's basically like, when you see, like, the British stuff or the French stuff when they have the royal court, he's basically the king's advisor. Okay? He's basically the king's capo, basically. And we come to find out that he was the dude. So then we see the scene where they in Oakland again. And when you see the scene when they in Oakland again, that's when it blow your mind. Because even the guy that they had playing young Forrest Whitaker had a lazy eye on the same side. Like, I'm just like, mind blown. Like, it was just so dope. And, like, he knew about the little boy, but we didn't know the little boy looking up. We just see him because, you know, they got their Wakandan technology. And basically, it do look like a spaceship, but I know it don't go into space. But he is seeing the lights, and we're just looking at it the first time like it's just a little kid who's seeing something light up in the sky and was probably thinking like a little kid would, like, oh my God, I think I see a UFO. And then you see all the other kids. But then you realize the reason why he looked up so quick is because his father had already been telling him about everything. So he already knew what it was and ran upstairs because he knew something had happened to his daddy, or they had took his daddy or something, because he knew that was Wakandan. Y'all, this movie is everything. Now, you know, I've held myself a few times, like, because we're on superhero overload, so a lot of times I'm like, I'm taking a break and I'm not watching nothing with superheroes until this comes out. The last time I did that was Suicide Squad, and I was disappointed. This was like a virgin with good pussy to a man. It was worth the wait. It was so good, you guys. It was so good. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. The social commentary. Because at the end of the day, it does seem like it's going to end up being a very African story, because, of course, Wakanda is a fictional country in Africa. We see a lot of ritual. We see a lot of costumes. I do like how the people were color-coded. I do like how the general of the army, who is the best warrior in Wakanda, is a female. And their whole army is all female. It was just amazing. The person that was smart, that was working with the tech, female. Like, they were just, it was so good. And the social commentary of the reason why Killmonger, first of all, wait, I gotta take a pause. Make me feel good. Michael B. Jordan, goddamn. And I love Michael B. Jordan, but they had to have this fight, and he had took his shirt off, and I was just like, okay, now wait a minute. When did that body get like, whoa? You got, I mean, don't get me wrong, he always had a nice body, but you beefed up for Black Panther. You beefed up a little bit, and that booty was sitting just, I'm like, I love Michael B. Jordan. And Michael B. Jordan as the villain. This might be the best Marvel villain since Loki. I'm not joking. First of all, we have backstory. We got backstory. We have motive of why he was doing it. Because he's going to his cousin, and he was like, do you see what's going on in the rest of the world? He's basically taking the mantle that his father took up. But he like, no, you have to understand, y'all left me while y'all was up here living large and in charge. Like, I'm not a royal, because at the end of the day, his father was a prince, so he a prince. He a prince. He a count, at least. He's royal, too. He's of royal blood. And while y'all sitting up here, I'm sitting here watching, I'm in the hood, watching people that look like us get harassed and killed and treated wrong all over the country, all over the world. And y'all up here, for lack of a better word, living like kings. Well, I won't end, but when I take over, I'm going to go help the people that look like us. I didn't see that coming. So the motivation was actually, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It was fantastic. Again, but to make him a bad guy, because had he just wanted to do that and just help other people, he wouldn't have been the bad guy. It had to be, but he wanted absolute power as well. Like Wakanda is going to just take over everything. Also, the fighting scenes were really good. Don't get me wrong. There is some times in this movie that you are like, green screen alert, green screen alert, green screen alert. It's there. But it doesn't take away from the emotion. The acting is fantastic. Angela Bassett, I ain't seen you act this well in a movie since I can't tell you how long. Because that Notorious B.I.G. autobiography wasn't it, sis. But just a great job, and playing like the Queen Mother. Everybody never slipped out of accent. Everybody's accent was on point. I don't know why they had to have this. Maybe that's in the comic. I don't know why Michael B. Jordan had to have him in dreads, but I guess to make him look different, too, because, you know, or maybe to make him look a little bit more African, because, you know, he ain't the darker skinned person in the cast, you know what I mean? It was just really well done. The costuming was fantastic. I like how each of the tribes were color-coded. I'm very big about color coding, especially in a movie where you're going to have that much stuff going on and it's busy, so that you can tell who is from what. And obviously, Lupita Nyong'o obviously was from a tribe where her father was the leader of her tribe, but it's still the king of the country, but they still have these other tribes. It's like, it's almost like, you know, how you have your governors of the state, and they run that state, but then as a country, we have a president. So it was kind of like that same thing. Obviously, she was the daughter. They didn't say that, but it was very obviously implied, heavily implied, that she was like the daughter of one of the kings of the tribe. But I like how she was color-coded so we can keep track. She always had on green because that was her tribe's color. Red was what the armies wore. So the lady, I didn't realize, because I don't watch The Walking Dead. When they said she was the lady from The Walking Dead, I said, bitch, work. Because when I tell you, that chick that was she was the leader of the armies, and her boyfriend is the leader of the Blue Tribe, which is dude from Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. But his army, he always had on blue. His army raised rhinos, and we seen like them talking to the, you know, talking to him, because him and T'Challa are very, very black. Who is Black Panther is very, very close friends, and we seen them feeding the rhinos. Like everything that we seen, they was letting you know shit that was gonna happen, but it wasn't that super obvious Marvel formula of like, oh, this is gonna come back at some point in time. I didn't see them rhinos coming back into the story. I did not see them rhinos coming back into the story. Just like I said, I didn't see why we was in Oakland, California, and how that was actually related to the thing. And then our bad guy is the bad guy, but in any other story would have been the all-American hero. Poor kid from the projects who grew up, went to Annapolis, was a war hero. And they were trying to explain to him, this is what he does. This is what he's trying to do, is take over governments. He just came and was like, well, shit, but this my country, and I'm coming to get this one. It was just excellent, man. It was excellent. I highly recommend it. I'm telling you, it ain't the Marvel movie you think it's going to be. Don't get me wrong. It is a superhero movie. But it ain't the superhero movie y'all think it's going to be. I'm telling y'all that right now. It's not what you think it is. This is outside of the genre which Marvel is good at that, but outside of the genre of superhero movie, it's almost like, I heard people saying like it was like a James Bond movie. I don't know about all that. I mean, like, yeah, they got gadgets and everything, but I don't really see that. I see it more along the lines of almost like a war movie, like a political thriller slash like war movie, like what they got to do to prevent a war from happening and the war break out and it's infighting. I see it more something like that. But again, with a strong social message of what's going on here, because spoiler alert again, at the end of the day, King T'Challa does listen to what Killmonger was saying, and he's like, now we ain't going to take over the world, we're not going to send out weapons and stuff, but you know what, we are going to start helping the people that look like us in other parts of the world. We are going to do that. We ain't trying to take over. We're not sending out our weapons that we know is going, that are basically, for lack of a better word, weapons of mass destruction. We're not doing all that. But we all going to start outreaching and helping the people all over the world to look like us. And, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I will say that there was a mid-credit sequence, but like I said, the tiredness was getting over on me, so if it was one at the end of that, I'll have to watch a spoiler review and find out what it was, because I couldn't do it no more. I felt myself, like, I'm like, I'll be sleeping in this theater in a minute. So anyway, that was Black Panther. I loved it. I lived for it. If you haven't seen it, I need you to go see it. If you have seen it, comment below. Let me know what y'all thought. I just thought it was done really well done, and I'm glad that I waited for it, and I'm glad that I did actually go and see it on the first weekend, because I'm waiting for it to break all of the box office records, and we'll find that out Monday. So thank you so much for watching. Deuces.
Kamehameha attack is blazing, I'm so amazing. Japanimation, the anime on your cartoon station. So fulfilling, no adults swimming for about an hour. Revealing power, unorthodox amongst these cowards. Full transformation for Optimus Prime transformation. A good vibration from Rumble Pack.